get into it here and take each chord and break down a little bit of what is happening. First of all, the mutes in the beginning.
Now, there are so many ways to mute. You can mute with your left hand, you can mute with your right hand. I choose to mute with my right hand on this, the first one, and then slide down with an up pick.
And there's actually, on the studio recording, there's actually a low E. But what an inventive thing. What a cool way to start out with just a chuck like that and a slide. Just imaginative. And then a real cut-off, quick low E note, followed by two more mutes. You've got the mutes, the slide down, and then you have double stops off of an E minor or the relative major. Did Jimi Hendrix know music theory? I think he knew his major and relative minor pretty well. This is an embellishment off of either a G-sus sound or a C sound. Just breaks it up. And again, he probably just flowed naturally back into the G, which he comes in and then does that pull-off, hammer-on and pull-off, the same as he does on the E minor. Again, a knowledge of music theory, working theory I call it, comes in handy. Then he goes up into the A minor chord, diatonic to the key of G. Another typical Hendrix type of an embellishment, and I'm sure he borrowed it from Curtis Mayfield or wherever, but beautiful. Back to the E minor. And the E minor is the same as the other embellishment that he did off of the G major. And then the pentatonic E minor, all off of an E minor form here. And that's probably what he was thinking. Here's your E minor 7. Now the B minor chord is also diatonic to the key of G major. On the studio recorded version, he throws a 9 into the chord. Now the interesting thing about the B minor chord is that although it's diatonic to the key of G or E minor, he uses a natural 9 on the chord to embellish it. I think when he recorded this in the studio, he was just like pulling out 9s for all they're worth, including when they did or didn't fit in the key. So he's got the 9 off of the G major, and then he's got the 9 off of the minor, and it's what gives this version its special flavor. So back to the B minor, it moves chromatically down to the A minor, and I know oftentimes it's notated or played B minor, B flat minor to A minor, and it sounds great. In the studio version, however, I think he's using a B flat major down to the A minor. But this is another little subtle point that Jimmy knew, that to go to the A minor, if you go a half step above, you can use a major chord. It would be like a dominant chord down to the A it's a tritone substitution from the E to the A minor. In this case, he's not doing the dominant seventh, he's just doing a little bit of the major chord. Now, when we get to the A minor, again, he pulls out a ninth, this time a close voicing. All right, a great little line. But he goes out of the G major scale again, essentially creating like a C-sus. I didn't hear that in the live versions I've listened to. He stays diatonic to the key. So there's no 9 on the B and there's no F on the A minor to C. A minor point, but it adds a distinct flavor to the studio version that is not captured, or he chooses not to use it in the live versions. And he knew when he wanted to pull in something that was out of the key and when it wasn't. And probably just spur of the moment, who knows? As I say, it's all conjecture. Going out of the A minor, he does that nice root motion from the B down to the G. And that's a third of G, B to G. Again, nice use of root motion showing a knowledge of working music theory. And now, when we get to the G chord, Hendrix creates this great voicing that there's no third. You have octave Gs, a fifth, so that makes like a G5 or a power chord with a 9 on top. Again, he was just fascinated for some reason with these 9s at this point. And then not only does he create that incredible texture in that chord, but he slides around with it to get us down to the F. So it sounds great, and
It's very unique. It creates a distinct flavor. And sliding around using that same chord structure, I think, is also unique and
shines light on Jimi Hendrix's brilliance
as a composer, as a player. Then there's a hammer on to the C chord, but he doesn't stay on C for long. He adds the 6th in it and adds a 9 on top of that. Again, the 9s are coming out like crazy here. So you've got C, A, C, and then moving up to the D on top. Sliding up to the D, just a power chord. Then another Hendrix type embellishment off of that major chord. Another interesting thing is that when Jimmy plays that D chord and embellishes it, he goes to the 4th again, like a D sus. I don't really mean to overanalyze a song like this, but I do want to pull out
some of the essence and the ideas that Jimmy had in his mind and his fingers
for us to be able to incorporate into our own music into our own style. It's worth taking the time to break it apart and experience some of those tasty little morsels.
And again, I want to remind you to click the like and subscribe button to follow the videos as they come out. And if you get anything out of these and you feel as though you'd like to share it with someone else that can get something out of it as well, I would really appreciate that.
So until our next session, have a great time playing these Jimi Hendrix embellishments. Over and out.